What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. A few videos ago, I mentioned that I was going to make a video about the John Cena retirement tour, and now I'm actually going to make it. Really sitting here and thinking about it, John Cena's retirement tour was very interesting, for good and for bad, and I kind of want to go over the entire thing and really pick apart what made it good and what also made it bad. And I'm gonna do that. Basically, all the matches. I'm only gonna do the promos I actually want to talk about, because if I went over every single promo, though, this video would be like this long video. And I don't want to make it as long as it's already gonna be. And so I'm just gonna talk about the parts of the retirement tour that I want to talk about that I thought were good or bad. So let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about is the Cena promo on the Raw Netflix debut. This was the first promo that he did at the start of the retirement tour. And I thought this promo was really good. It was just, I'll say really good, as in, it was everything it needed to be. Crowd got behind it. It was very simple. Just, I will win the Royal Rumble. I want number 17. Everything it needed to be. There's not much to say about this. Like I said, crowd got behind it. It also was the debut of him wearing like the shirts of the different cities on every single appearance that he made, which I'll probably talk about when I get to some of the heel stuff that he was doing, because I'll talk about that later on in the video. But like I said, this was good. It was good. Nothing to write home about. Very straightforward. Crowd liked it. You know what I'm saying? It was very simple. Next thing I want to talk about is the actual Royal Rumble match itself. That was his next appearance. I'll say this right now. I'm pretty sure Cena entered at number 20. I think Cena should have entered at number 17, which would have been really poetic to the whole story of what John Cena went to that Royal Rumble to do, which was win the thing and win number 17. I feel like that would have made it a little bit more poetic. Overall, Cena didn't even win the Royal Rumble. So, I guess. I'll say this right now. Cena, his overacting was hilarious. Overreacting. When he got, I'll say this right now, like, I think it was like the final three, when it was him, Jay, and Logan, and they were all kind of looking at each other. Cena was like, his overacting was hilarious. And also when him and Jay were on the apron, and he got kicked, and his foot was dangling, and he was it was so, like, overreacted, and it was funny, but also it was kind of bad at the same time. But also, I just want to talk about Jay actually winning the thing and not John Cena. I hated this when it happened initially. After it happened, I kind of realized, like, it was fine. I mean, in hindsight, it wasn't, because the overall just Jay push just did not work. But, like, at the time, why wouldn't you give the most over person in the company the Royal Rumble win and the world title? Especially in this era of WWE where they love moments. The entire point of that was to have 70,000 people do the whole yeet stuff right after he won the title. And that's exactly what happened. It was fine. After the Royal Rumble, Cena declared for the Elimination Chamber, which is kind of what people say as the first heel thing that Cena did, and I find that pretty interesting. Next thing I want to talk about is the Elimination Chamber match. I'm pretty sure Cena didn't do any appearances between the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber, but I just want to talk about this and the heel turn itself, which is the big moment from the retirement tour. I think the actual Elimination Chamber match was really good. I think there were a lot of cool callbacks. Cena and Punk, obviously. Cena and Rollins. All those people, very, like, star-studded. Great. There was a lot of cool callbacks. And once again, when CM Punk and Cena did, like, the heart attack on, I think it was Seth. Might have been Logan, I don't know, I forgot. Like, when they did that, that was cool. When they had that little stare down at the end when they were the final two, that was really cool. And the main thing I want to talk about is Seth Rollins hit CM Punk with the curb stomp. And Cena just took advantage of the situation, which was the first kind of heel thing that Cena did. Kind of similar to like, I don't know, I'm just thinking like a recent example, like what happened on SmackDown with Sami Zayn. Like, taking advantage of a situation, and Cena won because of it. Him yelling "I'm sorry" to CM Punk was actually pretty cool. But it led to Cena winning the Elimination Chamber and going to WrestleMania to fight Cody Rhodes in the main event. And now we'll talk about the actual heel turn. I think everything about this was really good, well done. Travis Scott being there was stupid, and all, especially with the WrestleMania match. It was just like that's kind of what they're doing with Jelly Roll right now. Put a celebrity in the main event feud for some reason. I don't know. Like, that's kind of... I'll say this right now, by the way. I'm making this before WrestleMania 42. There's a few more weeks left. If Jelly Roll shows up in the main event of WrestleMania, there's no goddamn way they're that stupid that they do that mistake again. I'll talk about it when I talk about the WrestleMania match with Cody and Cena. But yeah, like I said, the whole thing, very shocking moment. Great moment. I think the actual heel turn itself was done really well. Next thing I want to talk about is the first heel promo that John Cena did right after turning heel at Elimination Chamber. I'll say this right now. The crowd in this specifically was phenomenal. Them booing the hell out of Cena, doing the John Cena sucks chants to his music, all of that was really good. I'll say this right now. If the crowd continued to boo Cena, there would be a lot of things. I'll say this right now. John Cena teaming up with Logan Paul, that would not have happened if the crowd didn't just boo Cena. And if the crowd was like how the crowd in Brussels was for this promo, it would have been... I think it just would have made sense and it would have been better. I don't know. That's a small nitpick. Overall, the promo was fine. He didn't mention The Rock once, which, like, he's the reason why he turned. It's a whole thing. Like I said, I made a video about The Rock's stuff in WWE. I think him not changing anything was pretty good. But here's the thing. I saw a thing. Cena was talking about how he almost turned heel around Cena Rock 1, which was like 2012-ish. I think this promo, if you did that Raw after Mania 28, where Cena turned heel on The Rock at WrestleMania 28, you do this promo, it would have made more sense. The entire thing with this promo was the fans have been in an abusive relation, has just hated Cena for all those years, the 2010s. If you do that in 2012, perfect. You do it now, where the last few years, the crowd has been yelling, "Thank you, Cena," and cheering him a lot. Especially on the retirement tour, his last year in the company, people are going to cheer him. Doing this in 2025 didn't really make much sense. Like, once again, if you do that in 2012, yeah, like the peak of the "You Cena sucks" and the "We hate Cena" and all that, "We've seen enough," all that, that makes sense. When they were booing Cena out of the building. In 2025, when they were cheering Cena and stuff like that, it didn't make much sense. I think the actual delivery, I guess would be the word, of the promo was fine. It made sense. That kid right there, that thing was fun. That was funny. That was a funny little moment. That became a meme for like a week. That was cool. Overall, like I said, it was fine. It wasn't like the greatest promo of all time, but it was good enough. It was fine. It worked. That's all I gotta say about it. Next thing I want to talk about is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania. There were a few appearances from Cena leading up to WrestleMania. I thought a couple of the promos were fine, but I want to talk about this. This is the main thing from the retirement tour I just want to talk about. Talk about a shit show of a match. Good Lord. I rewatched this, and I'm never getting those 35 minutes back. Holy shit. First of all, this was the debut of the black and white Titantron for John Cena. I loved that. I thought that was really good. That was I will say that was perfect. For a heel Cena, a black and white Titantron, no color whatsoever, that just says John Cena. That was perfect. That's the probably one thing about this match that I enjoyed. Anyway, here's the thing, dude. This was the first match with heel Cena. So obviously Cena was going to work slower. Talk about, I understand it was Cena doing the whole I'm going to ruin wrestling thing. But good Lord. Was it 35 minutes? I don't even know if it was that. It might have been longer. It might have been shorter. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was 35 minutes. Around there. Of just the most boring wrestling you can see. It was so slow, and it was not, even watching it live, it wasn't, I was like sitting on my phone for some of it. Like, it was just, what are you going to see? A fucking headlock? Because God, he was doing so many of those. There were so many headlocks. Here's the thing. Also, I'll say this about Cody Rhodes. I'm not the biggest fan of his promos, but I think as an actual like wrestler, he is pretty damn good. And I think when you put him in that main event spot, he's going to have a damn good match. Cody couldn't save this goddamn thing. I understand the point of heel Cena in this match specifically was to wrestle in a boring way. But like, I guess it works because it ruined the goddamn... That is the one thing that people remember from WrestleMania 41. If you think about WrestleMania 41, you think about the main event of just the bad match, of just how bad the match was. And I haven't gotten to the Travis Scott stuff yet. This was just funny because of how stupid it was. Cena is sitting up, by the way. So Cody's down. He gets hit with an attitude adjustment, I'm pretty sure. Cena hit like 4 AAs, by the way. One of them was from the top rope, and Cody kicked out all of them. That was kind of weird. Cena is sitting up. Cody is laying down, and they hit Fiend. So this isn't even Travis Scott goes to help Cena. I mean, that's what they were trying to do, but it didn't even make sense. It's not like Cody hit a crossroads and then Travis Scott showed up. Cena was like, whatever. Cena was on top and they hit Fiend, whatever. Travis Scott takes 1 minute and 30 seconds. I counted it. 1 minute and 30 seconds to get to the ring. Holding this like hardcore title. I don't like that, by the way. I don't know. That pissed me off weirdly. Why is he holding the title? Why does he have a title? It's like the People's Championship that The Rock had at WrestleMania 40, or like any point later on. Like, I don't know. He takes 1 minute and 30 seconds to get to the ring. At this point, the referee is up. By the way, Cody Rhodes is up. That's realistic. That's fine because it took about 8 years for him to get to the ring. Cody hits a crossroads on Cena. They pull the ref. Travis Scott pulls the ref. He gets in the ring. Travis Scott tries to punch Cody. Cody hits a crossroads. Travis sold it really good. I'll say that. That's a plus I got about this. Cena had the belt. He went for the belt shot. Cody grabbed it. And by the way, this made Cody look like a absolute idiot. They did a tug of war thing, which looked really bad. Cody has the belt in his hand. He's trying. You're going to retain your title at WrestleMania. You're in a world title match in the main event of WrestleMania. And you're just going to conflict. You're going to like, I don't know. He didn't hit Cena. Cena hit him with the nut shot. Cena hit him with the belt. And watching it live felt like the slowest 3 count of all time. And it was a pop of, oh shit, he just won. And not, oh my God, he won the title. Oh my God, he won 17. It was, I don't know, man. It was, the match ended way too early. I don't even know about way too early. It ended earlier than I thought it was going to be. And that's kind of a thing with it. He won, like I said, watching it live. They did the 3 count. I was like, oh shit, he just won the title. Okay, what? I thought there were 10 more minutes on that match. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it felt. It was kind of interesting. But the last shot of WrestleMania is Travis Scott and John Cena holding each other's hands up. That's what happened. That's how it ended. That's my complaint about what they're doing right now with Jelly Roll. If they do a carbon copy of that, but with Jelly Roll, with the whole Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes thing, Like I said, there's no way they're that stupid that they would redo that again. Nobody liked that. We can disagree on everything as wrestling fans. Everybody agrees that Travis Scott being in that main event was fucking stupid. Everyone agrees on that. That's a fact at that point. Overall, the match wasn't good. Everything about it wasn't great, other than Cena's Titantron. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the Backlash match with Randy Orton. I think this match was better than the WrestleMania match. Pretty low bar. But I think, once again, this was another one. Very long match. Very long match. Another 35-minute match. A lot of these matches were long. Cena did about 4 AAs. A lot of, it was one of those, a lot of attitude adjustments. He tried to put Randy through the table. I remember this. I'm pretty sure or did Randy put Cena through a table? I don't know. The ref got knocked down. Randy put Cena through a table, if I remember correctly. The actual wrestling from Cena was quicker. Another thing I want to mention, something I liked about the WrestleMania match, I forgot to mention. Cena doing the 5 moves of doom, where he did a shoulder tackle and waited 10 seconds before he did another one. I loved that. That's something I want to mention. I'm pretty sure he just did the 5 moves of doom in this one. He didn't slow it down, which I think is something he should have kept as a heel, honestly. I think that actually was really good. But overall, the thing with this, too, with all these matches, there was no intrigue of, is Randy Orton going to win the title? You know Cena was retaining. Even with the CM Punk match at Saudi Arabia, you knew Cena was retaining. You knew that. That's something I want to talk about. That's kind of a negative about this. You knew Cena was winning. This was the match where they they really said it, that John Cena's finish was going to be the belt shot, the low blow and then the belt shot. That's when they really set that. That's a thing to talk about. I think the R-Truth involvement wasn't good. I did not like that. I think the idea of R-Truth trying to turn Cena back face, I think that was obviously something they would have done, and I think they did it pretty well. But if you cut the R-Truth part out of it, it's the same match. It's honestly better. Obviously, it makes sense for Truth's character, but that really kind of just, I don't know. I don't think he did not need to be there. They could have easily had Cena do the press conference and John Cena do the AA onto Truth through the the press conference table, and it would have been the same thing, and it would have had the exact same effect. I don't think that was kind of unnecessary. That was too much in terms of the overbooking. But here's the thing. Overall, the match was better than the WrestleMania match. I think there were a lot of callbacks too, like the attitude adjustment to the RKO. I think that was pretty cool. Once again, a lot of that. A lot of callbacks. Obviously, they have history. Solid match. The gimmicky end was kind of bad, though. I didn't really like that. So, yeah. Next thing I want to talk about is the Saturday Night's main event match with R-Truth. I'll say this right now. In terms of heel Cena, this was probably the best match in terms of story. This match is everything it needed to be. This match was a minute long, if I remember, or 3 minutes long. It was very short. R-Truth coming out as old John Cena was perfect. Cena looking pissed. It was everything about that was really good, I will say. R-Truth trying to turn Cena back, and him basically reminding him of what Cena used to be. That was so good, and I think they did it really well. Once again, another thing I want to talk about in terms of intrigue of someone winning. You knew R-Truth wasn't going to win that damn match, but also it's fine. It was fine. Was it for the title? I don't think it was. I don't know. Once again, that match was 3 minutes. Cena low blow Truth. Hit him with the attitude adjustment. Won. I think everything in terms of the structure was really good. And I think the match itself was it was fine. Well, it was, like I said, it was 3 minutes. It did everything it needed to be. In terms of a story, this was actually really well done. Next thing I want to talk about is just the heel Cena character in general. Not like a match or a specific promo, just the character in general. This is around this time. I think it was like around when Cena and Logan Paul started teaming up, when they were kind of building up to the Cody and Jay versus Cena and Logan Paul match at Money in the Bank. This is when I kind of realized, man, Cena is not good as a heel. All the promos just felt so like this is when the internet was kind of being like, yeah, this is not working. And especially teaming in with Logan Paul. That was that was not needed. They were really trying to hammer, hey, Cena is a heel, please boo him. And they didn't, the crowd wasn't booing him, so they put him against the one person in the company that actually has heat. And they still didn't boo Cena. So it didn't work, and they just put Logan in that spot for nothing. I think the delivery of Cena on the heel promos was very bad. He is not. I mentioned this in the video I made, where I was talking about heel turns that didn't go anywhere. Just I don't want to say fake, but that's the word. The fakest character in the modern era. Just nothing. It didn't feel like John Cena became a bad guy and was actually being his true self. This felt like, hey, John Cena, go out there and be a bad guy, and we're not gonna. And he wasn't good at it. That's why I'll talk about when he turned face on the SmackDown before SummerSlam. I'll talk about that. But that's why they pivoted. Like, they just pivoted and made Cena a face because it just was not working. That's kind of the thing with this. The motivation, it was just a bunch of you people promos. And the motivations didn't make much sense. I'll say this right now. Cena should have turned heel at WrestleMania. The whole nut shot into the belt shot thing should have been at WrestleMania. And that's how he should have won 17. And that's where you get a storyline where it's, hey, I had to cheat. I had to turn heel to win number 17. And you take the promos that he did initially, every promo was about, I need to win the 17th championship. If you have him turn heel to win that 17th title, it would have made sense. And that's how you get a heel Cena that actually makes sense. And there's actually a storyline with it. Instead of just, you people were mean to me. And he just did that promo for like 5 months straight. I don't know. The whole ruin wrestling thing. I'm going to take this belt home. And he didn't. I don't know. That's all I got to say. Next match I want to talk about is the Money in the Bank match. This match was not amazing. Forgettable is the word. I can probably name you one spot from this match, which was the Logan Paul line, the line salt that Logan Paul did to Jay through the announce table. That was really good. That's something about Logan Paul, I will say. It pisses me off that he's good at wrestling. I don't care, like, here's the thing. People say, oh, he's too choreographed. He all of his matches are pre-planned. He just does the moves. And y'all are the same people that fucking have orgasms over Will Ospreay matches and Young Bucks matches. I'm just saying. Or even some of the people now. It's equally as, like, I don't know, like a Carmelo Hayes. Or some of the high flyers nowadays. I'm just saying. I understand Logan Paul's a piece of shit as a person, and hating him makes sense. Saying that you don't want him in a major position because he's just not a good person, that's fair. But saying he's a bad wrestler, that's just, I disagree with that. Overall, though, like I said, the reason for this, them teaming up Logan Paul with John Cena, was literally the only reason they did that was to make people boo Cena, and it didn't even work. This match was made for that reason. It didn't work, and the match overall wasn't amazing. This was a time period. This era of, like, this was when people started just hating the WWE. This was that time period, like early June. This is when people started like talking about the ads. Like, there was all the ads on the ring. People just didn't like the Cena character. People just started. That was a time period. That was interesting. time period. But yeah, overall, like I said, there's not much to talk about. The match wasn't great. The past two Money in the Banks had to end with a boring tag team match. I don't know. I guess that's the also Cody pinned Cena in this match. Oh yeah, the R-Truth return, that whole debacle. Yeah, that was another thing that happened in this time period. The whole R-Truth situation. I'll tell you right now. They re-signed R-Truth because of the fans. Do not believe what Triple H says. Oh, it was all part of the show. Talk about trying to insult the viewer's intelligence. They brought him back because of the We Want Truth chants. They demanded that they bring back R-Truth, and that's what they did. I'll applaud them for bringing him back. They didn't do anything with the whole I'm Ron Killings thing. That's a whole other thing. I can talk about that. But at least it was like they, I don't know. I hate the whole thing with Triple H, dude. He just wants himself to look good in every possible way. This was kind of the start of that. Oh, you enjoying the show? It's all part of the show. You fucking idiot. You mark. Like, it's kind of how that's how it was delivered. It was bad. I don't know. Cody pinned John Cena in this match, and had to win King of the Ring to get the match at SummerSlam. What sense does that make? That's been a thing where you pin the WWE champion, you pin the champion in general, and you get a title match. That's been a thing, right? Like did I not miss anything? I don't know. That's been a thing for years, and they just didn't do it. And they could have actually gave someone a moment for King of the Ring. I don't know. Like I said, the match wasn't great. It was whatever. You know what I'm saying? Pretty forgettable. Next thing I want to talk about is the CM Punk match in Saudi Arabia. This is, I think, one of the better builds for the John Cena matches. I think that was probably the best thing he did as a heel, John Cena. You have to go to CM Punk has to go to Saudi Arabia to get the WWE Championship. That was the best story they could. That was a great story. Doesn't mean CM Punk's a hypocrite? Sure. But, like, I think that was a really well done story. I think, I forgot to mention this, the Punkonomics segment on SmackDown. I'll just talk about that. That was interesting. I don't know. Some of the build, other than that promo, you get your shot, but at Saudi Arabia. That was really good. I just think, some of the other stuff was... Them doing that Punkonomics segment was the one way they wouldn't have booed CM Punk in Saudi Arabia. That's all I'm saying. And they still did. But yeah. Okay, I'll talk about the match. Hold on. So this is after Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank, and they also teased Seth Rollins getting the WWE Championship when they basically did a goddamn Bloodline Rules match. The first 30 minutes, well, I think it was actually pretty solid. Another thing about this, though, no intrigue of, is CM Punk going to win? You knew Cena was winning. That's kind of the thing with all of these matches, other than the SummerSlam one. I don't know. Like I said, the first 20 minutes was fine. They did this was basically just a Bloodline Rules match of the Vision came out. So Penta, Sami Zayn, who else? I forgot. Maybe am I tripping? Someone else may have showed up. I don't know. LA Knight didn't show up, despite the fact that he had been he was feuding with the Vision at that time. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You know, they gave Sami Zayn the Saudi Arabia pop, so I guess that's fair. But it was over. Like I said, it was fine. Match was good. Ended with Cena stealing the win. I'm pretty sure. Cena hit. Rollins hit Punk with the briefcase, and Cena pushed Rollins out of the way to get the pin. I think that was actually pretty good. I liked that. Overall, though, like I said, the match was good. Probably at that time the best match of the retirement tour. You know, his next one was way better, I will say. Obviously, that's the SummerSlam match. I'll talk about that. Like I said, it was fine. Next thing I want to talk about is the Cena face turn right before SummerSlam. The day before SummerSlam. In my opinion, this was the worst part about the Cena retirement tour. And let me clarify, not the idea of turning him face. I feel like I applaud them for pivoting and just saying, hey, this is not work. It was like late July at that point. We were way past the idea of like this Cena heel turn is just not working. Like we were talking, like I said, we were talking about it then like June. It was late July. There's only like 4 months left at that point with the whole Cena retirement tour. If he stayed a heel the entire time, it wouldn't have worked. And like, so I applaud them for pivoting. I just think they were so ungodly lazy with the way they did it. This entire thing, I might have mentioned this, but like, this entire thing was, hey, you're gonna get a face John Cena at SummerSlam. Go watch the pay-per-view to see that. That is what this was. No, was the promo from Cena really good? Absolutely. Was the crowd behind it? Absolutely. Was it really hype for the crowd? I just said that. Absolutely. Was the delivery really good? Like, yes. I feel like they should have done the face turn at SummerSlam. Because here's the thing. The entire motive from Cena with the heel turn, with him being the WWE champion, was I'm going to leave as the champion. And I'm going to be the last real champion. Basically, every single person that tried to step up, I don't know if they mentioned it in any of the promos, but I assume, at least, they would have the motivation of, I need to take the title off of him so he doesn't leave with the title. This match, not the match, I'll talk about the match in a little bit with Cody at SummerSlam, but Cena losing the title at SummerSlam completely undid that entire thing. And this face turn completely undid the first 8 months of the retirement tour. Not the first 8 months, like the 5 months after the heel turn. And I think that's kind of weird. What I think should have happened for the face turn, I think it should have been Cody just beats him. Cena's the heel. Cody beats him. And right after, John Cena hugs him the same way that he did at Elimination Chamber, but he smiles instead of not smiling, and then lifts up Cody's hand and basically turns face that way, while he's just all chill and like happy about it. And then the next appearance, you debut the colorful Titantron, basically just solidifying that, hey, someone beat me, someone beat me, and I have a lot of respect for them. You know, I'm gonna go back to my roots. And then with the last like 4 months, you get the face Cena. I think that would have worked better, and also just would have made more sense, I think. Next thing I want to talk about is the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match from SummerSlam. This was probably the match of the year. This was the best match from the Cena retirement tour. This match was, once again, like a lot of the Cena matches, very long. This match was like, this had to have been 40 minutes. 40 plus minutes. It was, but here's the thing, it was 40 minutes of really good stuff. I think, I'll say this right now, in terms of the kickouts, it wasn't even close to believable. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure Cody hit Cena with the ring like, just to mention some of the spots. Cody hit Cena with the ring post like 3 times, and then a crossroads, and Cena kicked out. I'm just, like, that's not even, I guess it's Super Cena. I think that's what they were trying to bring back as well, so I guess that's fair. Cena doing a code red on the outside, that popped me. That was fun. I'm pretty sure Cena did an AA from one announced table to the other one. The stuff on the outside in the crowd, I thought that was pretty good. The suplex onto the guardrail thing, you know what I'm talking about. That was all really good. The whole Cena having Cody on his shoulders while the elevator thing went up, that shot was really well done. And then he just, like I said, there's so many just great spots from this match. Once again, I will say, the kickouts weren't even, like I already mentioned this, the kickouts weren't even kind of, I'll assume about, in total, about 10 finishers were hitting this damn match. From both Cody and Cena. If you combine them. I will mention I do not like how Cody does the RKO off the top rope, basically. it's like I don't know. That's like something, because that's a spot from this match where he does it through the table where it looks like Cody hurt himself more than Cena. But I think that the like a lot of good stuff was happened in this match. That's definitely a match that you should rewatch. If you're gonna rewatch any match from the Cena retirement tour, watch this one. The once again the crowd really behind it. The crowd reaction, one to the Titantron going all like colorful and stuff, switching from the black and white to that was really well done. I think that was really good. Him going back to the old entrance, that was really good. I think the even with Cody's entrance, the Dusty Rhodes speech, that was pretty cool. Kind of made it obvious that Cody was gonna win, but I don't know, like that's if they wouldn't have done that if Cody was gonna lose the match. But also, I will say, I mentioned this in the face turn thing. This was just two baby faces, facing each other, and Cody as a baby face beat heel Cena, not heel Cena. He beat face Cena. He got the title back. Like I said, the whole motive, I assume, was a babyface trying to beat heel Cena and getting the title back to basically save the company, kind of. And this was not. It was like I said, Cena was a face, so it didn't really work in that aspect. But like I said, that's probably like the one complaint I have about this. And I think the salute that Cody did was kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it was kind of too heroic in a way. I don't know. It was very like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I'm talking about though, like something like that. I'll talk about the Brock Lesnar stuff right now though. I think, in hindsight, yes, especially in hindsight, this just that Brock did not need to show up in this for this. Bringing Brock back, I'll say this right now. Brock could have showed up in the Rumble and it would have been completely fine. It honestly would have been better because it means we don't get the Cena Brock match at WrestlePalooza. I'll talk about that in a couple of fucking things because that's definitely something I want to talk about. Like, at the time, it was kind of interesting, and even now, it's still kind of weird. I think right now, I'm filming this in like late March. It's like March 28th. I'm filming this. If they do the whole Brock and Oba thing and Oba wins, that's great. But like in the moment, around like when Brock came back at SummerSlam, it was kind of weird. Wasn't really looking too forward to seeing it, and especially with the match we got at WrestlePalooza, I don't think it was needed. I don't think they needed to do Cena and Brock. Next thing I want to talk about is Logan Paul and John Cena at not WrestlePalooza, Clash in Paris. This is just hilarious, honestly. The booking was so funny because this was the first match from face Cena after losing the championship. Basically meaning he can fight anybody. He can go against whatever, so many people that he's faced in the past, a bunch of other people, newer people on the roster, and they pick Logan Paul as his first opponent. People were so pissed. It wasn't, dude. Nobody was happy about it. And here's the thing with this. I feel like it also was because they had already done a match with Logan Paul. Not like one-on-one, obviously, but like the tag match and Money in the Bank. They already did. Like Cena and Logan Paul already worked together. So doing it again was kind of interesting. But also, if you want Cena to be the ultimate babyface, have him go against Logan Paul. And I think the actual match was pretty damn good. I feel like this was when they first started doing the callbacks too. As in John Cena doing moves from people he's faced in the past. I'm pretty sure Logan Paul did a zigzag. I'm pretty sure Logan did. No, did Cena do an End of Days? Somebody did an End of Days. Cena did the Styles Clash. That was around the time when they were kind of uncertain if Cena and Styles were going to have a match. So it's really cool that they did that. Like I said, Cena got the win, and it was fine. It was a solid match. Not much to say about it. There wasn't really much story going into it. I'm pretty sure Cena and Logan were kind of just... They were doing the whole Logan and Drew versus Cody and Cena thing. I'm pretty sure that was one of the matches on SmackDown, which then led to them having a one-on-one at a Clash in Paris. I feel like Cena and Drew honestly would have been a better idea, but why didn't they do that match? That actually makes way more sense. Anyways, they couldn't. They totally could have told a really good story if they did, like, just an actual good, like, feud with Cena and Drew. Why didn't they do that? I don't know. Like I said, but also match was good. You know what I'm saying? Not much to write home about, honestly. Like I said, solid match. Next match is probably the Cena both had the best match of 2025 and the worst match of 2025. Talking about the WrestlePalooza match, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This is probably the shortest segment I'm going to have because everything about this was absolutely terrible. I will say, Brock's presentation was really good. Paul Heyman announcing him was really good. Cena coming out with all the kids, that was fine. The actual match, I'm pretty sure it was 7 minutes long, and it was Brock squashing Cena. There was no reason to do any of that. Brock didn't need it. Cena didn't even need that. There was no reason for this to be a squash. This wasn't even like Brock already squashed Cena at SummerSlam 2015, 10 years ago. I understand. Obviously, in the modern era, we obviously have to make Brock look strong because we haven't done that for the past 15 years. But like, I don't know, man. This just everything about it. I'm pretty sure there was like 8 F5s. The crowd hated it. The only good part about it was them showing the kids in the crowd crying at the end. That was the one good part about this match. Everything else was absolutely terrible. The finisher spam made everything. All of it just was terrible. There was no, like I said, like 8 F5s. There was no reason to do that. It did absolutely nothing for nobody. Brock didn't get anything from it. Cena didn't get anything from it. Nobody got anything from it. It was just the worst, like I said, the worst match of 2025. Pretty hard to argue that, seriously. I don't know. There's nothing else to talk about. It was so useless is the damn word. If you're gonna do Brock and Cena, make it like a 15-minute match at least. Have Cena get his win back from SummerSlam. They just did what they did at SummerSlam. Like I said, almost like 11 years before that. It was SummerSlam 2014. I'm pretty sure that they did the whole Brock squash and Cena, and that worked. Because it was Super Cena. This is 2025 on his retirement tour, John Cena. This was such a waste of a match, especially with Cena only having 16 matches, I'm pretty sure, on that whole retirement tour. It did nothing for nobody. It was, like I said, a terrible match. There was nothing good about it. Next match I want to talk about is John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. Kind of want to preface this as well. There was like no build to half these matches, and if there was build, it was very limited. This was in that time period where you get John Cena on the pay-per-view, and they had to kind of just make shit up. They had to. I mean, obviously, I assume that AJ Styles match was like a pre-planned thing and then John Cena went on Twitter and was like, "Hey, y'all want AJ Styles?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." And then they did it. That was probably just a big thing, but like. Basically every single show they had to put John Cena on. Like even with the days that they had or like weeks they had to build it up where AJ Styles was constantly on TV, they still didn't really build it up. Remember that time period in like July where there was Saturday's Main Event on Saturday and then Evolution on Sunday and also All In was on that same Saturday where it blended into Saturday's Main Event because it went on for like 6 hours? Like, that's the type of... Like, obviously, all AEW doesn't coincide with WWE, but, like, that's the type of stuff that they were doing. They had to build up 2 shows at once, and they put all their time into Saturday's Main Event and not much into Evolution. And Evolution was a better show. I digress. That's a different topic. But this is... If John Cena and Cody Rhodes does not match the year this is, in terms of a, like, wrestling... If you want, like, a good technical match, this is not gonna be it. If you were a hardcore like diehard fan, you will fucking love this. The amount of callbacks on this are insane. You had AJ coming out to the with this TNA gear, the whole introduction that John Cena gave him with the whole like leader of the Bullet Club thing. Pretty sure they mentioned TNA in there. AJ did a icon splash. He did a Scorpion Death Drop. He did a fade to black. I'm pretty sure. He might have done some other stuff. John Cena did literally like he did like an RKO. He went for a punt kick. That was fun. He did the camel clutch, the accolade that Rusev does. He teased a 619. That was awesome. He did the Sister Abigail, which was phenomenal. Where they, everyone had the fireflies on. That was amazing. So that like goosebumps, seriously. And then obviously ending with the Tombstone Pile Driver, which led into an attitude adjustment. That entire thing. Just would watch the match. There's also a Walls of Jericho that John Cena does at some point in the match. There's so many callbacks, and if you're, like I said, if you're a hardcore fan, and you understand all those callbacks, it's really cool to kind of see. Oh, it's the move that, that's one of John Cena's things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of his bigger rivals. Just him paying tribute to a bunch of people that he's faced over the years. I think that was really well done. So overall, great match, very fun match, one of the best matches out of the retirement tour, probably second best, maybe even the best one. Next match I'm going to talk about is John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio on Raw. This is the match where John Cena won the Intercontinental Championship. I'm pretty sure this was rumored going to the show, and I say rumored as in like they were going to do Cena and Dominic. I'm pretty sure that was expected, though, that they were going to do that, especially for the Intercontinental title. And it was pretty obvious that once Dominic came out, you knew that Cena was going to win. Because, like, that was the one... At that point, like, in that tour, in the retirement tour, that was the one thing Cena hadn't done, which was win the Intercontinental Championship. So they kind of said, hey, let's just do it now. I'll tell you right now, if they actually did a full Dominic Mysterio and John Cena feud, where like John was consistently there, I think that actually would have been really good. They did have 2 matches, but I feel like an actual story with an actual build, I think would have been pretty good. Because this was basically just Dominic interrupting Cena and then Cena saying, hey, let's make a match. They were in Boston, I'm pretty sure, which is like obviously Cena's area. I mean, in terms of the match, I mean, it's not like... I'm pretty sure it was a short match. I don't remember it being like a 15-minute banger or whatever. Like it wasn't, there were a lot of. It was everything that, like I said, everything that I needed to be. Cena doing like taking they kind of teased Dominic retaining, but we all knew that Cena was going to win it. But like the whole Super Cena thing that he did at the end, where he took the frog splash and just completely no-sold it. And hit the AA and won the title. That was cool. It was a good moment, and I think that's what it needed to be. A cool moment. Hey, look, Cena won the Intercontinental Championship. It was fun. I think the promo beforehand was actually pretty solid too. I think everything about the segment did what it needed to do, and they were successful in getting their, I guess, the purpose of the segment. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was solid. Next match I'm going to talk about is John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio, a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. This match was interesting because it was in Dominic Mysterio's hometown, San Diego, so the crowd reaction was actually pretty mixed. John Cena was getting cheered because it was his last pay-per-view match. If you don't count Saturn's Main Event as a pay-per-view, that's kind of like a side thing, I'm pretty sure. And Dominic Mysterio was getting cheered, one because of the hometown stuff, and 2 because the fans just really like him. And I think that's fair. This was basically this entire match was John Cena just putting everybody over. Also, like in terms of everybody involved, John Cena put all of them over. They did a fake injury angle for Dominic Mysterio, which then led to Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez both hitting their finishers on John Cena, which was pretty interesting, honestly. It looked good, and that's the thing. John Cena basically, like I said, putting both of them over, letting them do that. I think that's pretty cool. If the creative team's not going to do it, John Cena may as well. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah. So Dominic, this match was for Dominic to regain the Intercontinental Championship. Like I said, the match on Raw was just for Cena to get that moment. Oh yeah, and also Liv Morgan came back in this match as well. I guess put her over, let her do the whole thing. I think that was pretty well done too. The whole like hug and then the call back to the heel turn and shit, that was pretty good. Like I said, just led to Dominic Mysterio getting the title back. I think it was pretty well. I think everything that needed to be done in this match was done pretty well. In terms of, I'm pretty sure this was like a pretty longer match too, I think. In terms of, compared to the match on Raw. I mean, obviously it's a TV match versus a pay-per-view match, but like, this actually got some time, and I think they did really well with the time they had. Probably the best match on that Survivor Series card. I mean, it's not saying a lot, but like, there were a lot of good moments in this match. That's probably what I should say. Like I said, all the people get involved. I think it was actually pretty well done. Oh yeah, Cena also did the double attitude adjustment on Finn Balor and Jaden McDonough. I forgot about that. That was a cool moment. But yeah, like I said, I kind of want to mention this as well. Dominic Mysterio, I think, was the only person that I guess had a match with John Cena that was really put like over during the retirement tour. Everyone that Cena faced was someone that Cena had faced like 10 years ago. I guess you can say Cody got put over, but like, Cody Rhodes was the champion, like, he's been put over. But like Randy Orton, CM Punk, I guess Logan Paul, like Brock, who else? I don't know. Like Dominic Mysterio was elevated from this match, and I think that was probably one of the only times during the retirement tour that someone really got elevated, and especially with what they did with Saturday's main event, I feel like that's pretty interesting. That they didn't even do like a Cena and Braun Breaker match, for example. Like Braun Breaker was on main roster. I feel like they could have done that. They could have done that match. I don't know. They could have done a Braun Breaker match instead of the 3 Logan Paul matches they had. I'm just saying. Like, I think the one, like I said, the one Clash in Paris was fine, but I don't know. You could have done on one of the SmackDowns, maybe. I don't know. Ilya Dragunov, something like that. Carmelo Hayes. Like I said, put the young talent over. I don't know. Like talking about the match though, overall, it was good. And the last match on the retirement tour, John Cena and Gunther. This match is very, I guess, controversial is the word. I really enjoyed this match. I'll say this. I don't care what people say about Gunther because I'll say this right now. The Gunther hate is some of the most forced hate I've ever seen for a wrestler. Not even WWE, just in general. People are so, I don't even know what the word, it's not invested, but like in that wrestling bubble that they genuinely get so goddamn mad over. This is how like 10-year-olds act when they think, when 10-year-olds thought wrestling was real. I'll say it's like kids that genuinely hate the heels and love the baby faces. It's the same thing with Gunther. You should hate him, but that's the point. I don't know. Everyone's he's boring. He's not good. It's over pushed. He's retired all his people. Probably because he's really good at his fucking job. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Whatever. Going to the match. It was, like I said, Cena hit basically everything. Bunch of AAs, a bunch of he did one through the table, I'm pretty sure. A lot of good spots in this match. Gunther was doing really good. He was basically killing Cena at one point. He did 5 lariats just back to back to back. I think that was really well done. This match, once again, go back to the thing. This match was done to make Gunther the biggest heel in the company, basically. They haven't really done well with, following that up, but that's not, really relevant here. Um, Once again, the crowd hated Gunther, and that's exactly what this should have been. The crowd that's the point, though. Cena was supposed to be the biggest babyface in that on the show, and Gunther's the biggest heel. And people do this. Whatever. I'm not gonna rant about it. The match was really good. This was like 30 minutes, by the way. This was a longer match, and I think obviously for Cena's last match ever, I think that's what it should have been. But the big moment in this match, Cena tapping. People hated this because they hate everything. Same thing with the whole, oh, why is Gunther making Cena tap? It's stupid. This, talk about putting someone over. Having Cena tap out. See, that's the exception to Cena not putting people over. Cena put Gunther over in this match. He was the biggest. Gunther got the biggest, like, I don't know what the word is, but like, Cena putting him over made him way like bigger. I don't know how to describe it, but like, I think that was pretty. I don't want to. Here's the thing: it was pretty obvious that Cena was going to tap out, in my opinion. I don't know. I saw it coming, but once again, when they showed the crowd shots after Cena tapped out, the crowd was basically heartbroken. That's exactly how it should have been, and that's exactly what they were going for. And you guys being mad about it, that's exactly what the point is. Triple H coming out there getting booed out of the damn building. The "you fucked up" chants. Him going on the apron to hug Cena while smiling and laughing his ass off. That's a great moment, by the way. I'm just saying. That's the point. You hating Gunther, that's the point, and you're trying to disguise it as him being terrible. I don't get it. I'm not. Y'all were saying that he's one of the fucking best in the company like a year or two ago, and then he wins the tournament. He beats John Cena, and now all of a sudden he's terrible. I don't get it. This was more of a rant more than anything. In terms of, I don't know. In terms of the match, though, it was really good. I think it was a great way for Cena to go out. I think Cena smiling while tapping out was, it was pretty good. The whole, like, Cena being at peace while he was basically dying. I guess that's not the word, but, like, fading is the word. I think that was actually pretty well done. Overall, it was a great match. I think it's a good way for Cena to go out. I do find it funny that during that whole thing, Cena did not want to be there. When they were playing him that whole like video package with the music and stuff, dude, he did not. He wanted that to be over so fast. I don't know. That's what it seemed. Oh, like I said, to kind of just wrap it up though, to wrap this whole thing up on the whole retirement tour. The first half was pretty bad, and the last half was pretty good. That's kind of the deal. This was like a C in terms of like a letter grade. I think a lot of the matches, other than the Brock match and the tag match of Money in the Bank and the WrestleMania match, I think every other match was actually like above average. And I kind of want to. I think the main problem with it was the heel turn and how they did it for way too long. Like I said, it lasted 5 months, and it was ended in August. Or late July, I guess. I think that's kind of the problem. They took that heel character and pushed it way too far. Where it was his last year, and they took a character that didn't work and pushed it way too far. To the point where all the good stuff happened in the last like 4 months, and it was very rushed. I still think it was really good, but it was very rushed. I think that's a thing with it. There were not many proper stories going into most of the matches, especially in the latter half. Like, that was that era when there was a pay-per-view every month and Cena only had like a date to be there. Even the opponents didn't have Cena's opponents do much to really build up the story. A lot of the matches were, hey, we're going to do this because, it seems cool. That's kind of what it was. The matches, like I said, the matches were really good, but there wasn't really many storylines in it. I think that's something they could have done better, in my opinion. Overall, I will say this. If the heel character, if they just never turned him heel in general, I think the actual retirement tour would have been way better, because if it was just him as a face the entire time, I think that would have worked. And he could have, like I said, put over a lot more people. Cena as a heel didn't lose. He like barely lost. He only lost, like I said, the tag match in Money in the Bank. Cody pinned him. He didn't really lose much. He didn't lose much. And that's, kind of thing. He couldn't really put people over until the latter half. So that was kind of something. Oh, like I said, overall, solid. It was fine. There was a lot of weird parts about it. Like I said, a lot of those heel promos were really bad, in my opinion. And that's kind of something. Just that whole heel era, I guess, like the heel run was pretty bad. And that's kind of what spikes it down a little bit. Because if you take just that latter half, the last 4 months, it's actually really good. But the first, like, I guess 8 were pretty... I mean, everything from, like, March to, like I said, before SummerSlam wasn't great. In terms of, like I said, yeah, whatever. That's all we got, though. What's the Wanda motto we always follow? Fuck the Canes. See ya.